Hey, glad you can make it, because today we are playing more of Minecraft while Barlock builds and I talk and things like that. And wow, my Minecraft is showing an entire section of chunks over here just poof. That is so weird. Oh well, at least that's not over there where we're building.
Correct.
I mean, you should see my screen. It's got blue space right there underneath the trees. The tops of the trees exist, but underneath the trees, it's like I can see through the world.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird. You'll see it whenever the video comes out. Ha ha ha.
Yes.
All right, so after a little bit of confusion and stuff, we are back to recording. Correct, sir? It's been like a month.
Yeah, we both had things jump in our face this month. Or last month, I should say.
Yeah, at least mine wasn't as literal as yours.
Yep.
All right, so what are we doing today?
We're going to do another mid-class house today. One with a wraparound porch.
Cool. Well, I've been asked to stop pacing as much, and I'm really bad about pacing, so I want to stop doing it as much anyway. So I'm just going to watch you and not move around as much as I normally do.
Alrighty. You're going to be a non-functional camera?
Yeah, I mean, if you need my help, then I will come help, but people, and I can understand it, you get tired of seeing me just pace, where I'm not doing anything but walking back and forth constantly, which is being a bad cameraman at the same time, too, by the way. As if I'm going back and forth, that means I'm not constantly keeping your build in the camera.
Oh, well, nobody wants to watch what I'm building. They come here to listen to you.
Yeah, right. I just got finished playing Lego City Undercover.
Oh, was it any good?
Oh yeah, I'm really liking it. It's basically Lego's version of GTA. It was only available in the Wii U for quite some time, which irritated me. But then it suddenly showed up on PC, and I'm like, yay. It had a whole bunch of bugs. People were complaining about them, so I just waited a little while, and then it went on sale, and I was like, well, okay, I'll take advantage of the sale. And you know all the other Traveler's Tales Lego games, like the Lego Star Wars, etc., etc.?
Yep.
Yeah, it plays something like that, except it's more open world, like Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, okay.
So it's rather cool. It's got a lot of neat little systems. Just having some fun with it. So that's what I streamed for today. Planning on doing some streaming for about 2 hours a day, every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And it's not going to be like normal series like I was doing before. It's just going to be things I feel like streaming. So they're going to go up as stream archives on YouTube, because I'm also streaming it privately to YouTube while I'm doing my main streaming to Beam.
Ah, that sounds confusing to me. I'm glad I don't have to do that.
Basically, I'm streaming to both using a service called Restream.io, which is what I was doing before. I could stream it to YouTube and Twitch and Beam all at the same time. So I'm doing the same thing, except I'm making the YouTube stream private. That way I can just focus on one chat, the Beam chat, and focus on that being the place where I interact with the viewers, and then use YouTube as the archives.
Oh, okay.
And by
cool.
By streaming it to YouTube, I don't have to worry about uploading it to... Well, I don't have to worry about first downloading it from Beam and then uploading it to YouTube later.
Ah, so less complicated.
Yes. A little bit more complicated setup, a little bit more, etc., etc. Like, also at the moment, whenever somebody follows the channel, there's like 3 bots that say it, and then I say it vocally, so the person gets it 4 times. So I need to work. I need to work on getting at least 2 of the bots to be quiet. So because I've actually got a bot named Soprania that uses a local botting software that I use on my computer called Scorpbot, and I actually really like it. But Beam has its own bot that tells you about follows and stuff, and then StreamJar, the place that I'm using for tips, because I can now finally take tips when people are streaming, or when I'm streaming, not people, me. I can finally take tips, and because I finally got, me and PayPal had some issues, and we worked them out. So I can now finally take tips from PayPal while I'm streaming, but StreamJar likes to get involved in the chat when I don't want it to. So
I was going to say, that other system you're talking about, I would get that if I got money every time anybody else streamed.
What?
When you made the miscommunication of a system that gives you money when somebody else streams.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like an awesome one to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd get that for sure because I never stream.
The dogs are all saying hi. Y'all can probably hear them in the background there. So, considering the size of this, must be another fancy pantsy house, huh?
Well, this is just the porch. The house isn't that big.
Oh, okay.
Told you I was going to do a wraparound porch, remember?
But this is just the porch?
Yep.
That's a pretty nice porch.
Yep.
In real life, I think that porch is bigger than my house.
It probably is. That's what I should do sometime. I should have you send me a blueprint of your house and a picture of the outside of it, and I should build it in Minecraft.
I think it's so small you'd have to use chisels and bits to do so.
Nah, I could build it in Minecraft. It'd just be a lot bigger than yours.
That would be interesting. We'll have to do that one time. Maybe that can be, well, no. Actually, no, this house was built back, well, maybe not as old as these houses. This house is somewhere around 100 or 100 years old, something like that. I know the neighbor's house is 100 years old, at least, because the neighbor is 100 years old, and she grew up in that house, so...
Oh, I thought you were going to say she built it.
No, it was her grandfather that built it.
Ah.
So, yeah, that one's rather old. I mean, she's not 100 yet, but she's really close. She's like 97, something like that.
That's close, all right.
When we first moved here, it was 10 years ago, and so she was 87, and she was still walking to the store, which is uphill and about a mile away.
It was uphill both ways, and it
Right.
snowed 16 feet.
Right, but she was 87.
Yeah, but I just remember all your grandpa's stories always started that way. It was
Yep.
uphill both ways, and I rode a dinosaur to school.
Actually, one of my grandpa's stories was all about something that happened with my mother and a graveyard. Something tells me it wasn't real. It was just a way of presenting a setting for it, or, you know, people I would know to be part of the story. But it was still fun to listen to. But it was basically one of those stories where you got people, or what, you got somebody running through the grave. She trips and she ends up in a grave. Okay, running through the graveyard. She trips, ends up in a grave, trying to climb out, and suddenly hears a voice behind her, says, "You're not going to be getting out of here anytime soon," and then suddenly she does. You know.
Ooh, spooky.
No, suddenly she gets out because, you know, she's just been told she's not going to by something that she didn't expect to be there. And, it turns out it was just like, the town drunk.
Oh. Oh, that's terrible, terrifying and terrible all at the same time.
But, so the adrenaline causes her to suddenly be able to get out there. Kind of reminds me of a song by, I can't remember, Ray Stevens. The same guy that did Mississippi Squirrel Revival, which was probably one of his more popular ones. He did
I still like The Streak.
Yes, The Streak was good. But he also did one called, I can't remember the name of it anymore, but part of it was, I ain't sitting up with the dead no more.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's I ain't sitting up with the dead no more. I don't know about you. I ain't sitting up with the dead no more, no matter what you say or do. And something about what the dead left. But then it's I ain't sitting up with the dead no more since the dead start sitting up too.
Oh, mortuary joke. Got it.
Yeah. It was when they would like chain them down. But then rigor mortis would set in and make them kind of plop up.
Well, actually, for your information, if any new body, if you disturb them, their nerves will fire. They'll do anything from sit up, walk, and mumble.
That's freaky. I wonder if that's where the concept of zombies came from.
Yep. I had a friend that was a mortician, and for Halloween, he taught us all about dead people and scared the crud out of us.
Hey, we had mentioned this becoming other people show up and talk during this. I almost considered setting that up today. Well, yesterday.
Anytime.
Yep. I think.
Yeah, that was my fault yesterday.
It's okay. I was partially confused too at that point. Of course, it's your fault that I was confused. Wait, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Okay, good. But yeah, the Lego game was fun. Hopefully I'll be back streaming, getting things recorded. So be back at schedule again, because, got a little bit more time.
Yeah, if life would just slow down and let us catch up, right?
Yeah, it'd be nice. At this point, us talking about graveyards and stuff, this almost looks like an altar. Or, something that's going to be a mausoleum or something.
Oh, speaking of mausoleums, did you see what Vagram built?
I saw part of the stream that he was building something that was very freaky looking.
That is awesome. I love the design.
I'm going to have to go back and check and see how it came out. Actually, I think it's on the VC4 test server, so I can just go on the server and go see how it checked out. By the way, I don't know if you noticed the news, but for you and any patrons who are currently watching, we have a Coop Life server.
Been there, did that, have the house.
Wait, I thought you said you wanted to.
I built on the server last night.
Oh, so you saw the stuff and went there?
Yep. After we had our discussion, I said, well, I guess I'll go do that.
Okay. Well, I can tell you after this is over where I live if you'd like to come join me.
Okay. I'd love to come join you, but I built a whole village.
Wow. Okay. Well, then you can come hang out, I guess.
I don't know. I could probably dump it. I don't got that much into it. I've got those, what are they, engineer boxes, so I can just throw everything in them and come join you.
Okay. Now, I'm not necessarily going to be doing that one on a schedule when it comes to the recording. I kind of just work on it during the whenever. But I am moving, like, I was on Vagram's patron server, but it's getting a little crowded. There's a lot of people who have been wanting to play Coop Life. So I figured I figured I'd go ahead and move over to I'd go ahead and create us a patron server, and I move over to that one so that way I can hang out with my patrons while I'm, building and doing things there.
Yeah, the last video I watched, which was probably yesterday's or the day before's post, he had 9 people on there at the same time.
Yeah, it's getting a little busy, but we're going to have a few more people probably come and show up, so. We are also working on something to make that more interesting, but that's as far as I'm going to go with it until we see if it works. So it'll be very cool if it works.
I hope it works then.
Me too. And see, people, I am doing better. I am not pacing. I'm not going back and forth like this. I am just trying to keep the build in my view and then circling around it every once in a while. So I'm not pacing as much.
Yep, cinematic views.
And at some point I need to actually learn how to use the software that people like Grian uses. But I I have access to it. I've looked at it, and it's feels like a video editor software, which is fine and dandy. It's just the whole concept of basically you record what is happening, but then you have to do new commentary. Because, I could lay our audio over it and then just have a completely different camera. That would be possible. And that would probably be how I would have to do it, because I don't know about, it'd be hard for both of us to exist in the audio if just if one person is having to do commentary after the fact, if that makes sense.
Kinda. Yeah. But I'm not into editing, so.
Well, it would be like taking old game footage and playing it back and doing new commentary over it. Except in this case, that's exactly what you would have to do if you wanted to try and do it, where you could do the, speed up the build process like he does. Things like that.
So when he speeds up the film, he's doing it separately. Got it.
Yeah, basically he's recording it, and then he's setting the camera and stuff. And then he records that, and then he records commentary to go with it. And, that would be possible to do, but it's not as easy to do with more than one person. So to make it the talks with Barlock, we would have to make sure to use the audio that we're getting now, which means we could not speed up any portion of it, etc., etc. So I could use it for cameraman aspect and then just throw our commentary on top of it. That is possible. But I think this is just fine doing that instead of having to do all of the extra convoluted stuff.
Now, can you set up a still camera somewhere around here while we're doing this?
Possibly. I do have extra accounts that I have access to, so one could be a camera account.
Because I was going to say, if nothing else, it might be neat at the end of the video if we had one stagnant camera, like in a diagonal corner, like you are now, and it films the whole thing with no audio. And then at the end, you do a speed up version of the build.
Well, see, I could do that using that software too. You don't need a camera account.
Oh, okay.
I could just record this whole process. The process would be recorded, basically.
Okay.
Using that mod, but I don't know if everybody would. I don't know if you would have to have it too for that to work. I don't know. I'd have to check into it.
Well, they'd only need it from my view if they wanted to see me speedily setting down these bricks one at a time.
Oh no, the way it works is it records the things being done, and then you can go back into it and look at it from any camera point you want.
Ah, okay.
So, like, watching you now, in other words, even though I'm at this camera point now, using that mod, I could go on the other corner of the building and watch you after the fact. I could go see what's going on over there.
Oh, okay.
So, I need to see if that works. If it doesn't work, then yeah, I could work on getting a camera account on the server. Stick it in spectator mode so that way people can't see it from other perspective. That way, if I happen to look at it, I wouldn't see it on my screen.
Oh, okay.
That means I'd have to record it and this at the same time. That might be tough. Yeah, I think I'd have to actually use a second computer to do that.
Yeah, then that's too hard. Never mind. It's just an idea.
Well, I might see if I can make the other software that Grian uses. Make it happen. Like I said, I've never played with it before, so I don't know its capabilities. So I can learn it. It just may take me a couple of weeks before I figure it out because, you know, having the time to learn things is not always there.
I know what you mean. Been busy.
Yeah, you probably can't talk about why you've been busy.
Nope.
You know, there are still people who view these videos that think you're a young kid.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible about my voice. But at least I get funny phone calls from time to time, like the solicitor that called me the other day. He wanted me to put my mommy or my daddy on the phone. I said, I'm 53 years old. They're dead. And he hung up.
He probably thought you were joking with him. Or using that as a method to, you know, get him to hang up.
I don't know, but he hung up awful quick.
Yeah, they can be fun to play with. I mean, there is a new thing that they are doing though that is really irritating me.
What?
One of the things that I could do before is I could look at a phone number and go, okay, it's got this particular area code and this particular prefix. It is probably somebody I know, and it's just a new number that they're calling from. Okay. While, you know, if it had like an 800 number that wasn't already in my phone, then it's somebody I didn't want to listen to. If it was important, they could leave a message, so I just didn't answer. But now what they are doing is they're spoofing local cell phone numbers. And I've been on both ends of that. What I mean by that is I have received phone calls from certain phone numbers and I'm like, okay, this is a local phone number, so I should be able to answer this. And I answer it, and it's a spam call. It's somebody trying to sell me a hotel room or whatever. And the first time I got it, I'm like, okay, maybe they just got themselves an access to a local phone number. So I never bothered calling them back, but somebody else who received one of those phone calls did call them back, and they got me. Like, for some reason, even though I had just been on the phone with my wife, somehow one of these spam companies had spoofed my phone number, calling somebody else to try and sell them stuff. So they were calling me to tell me to take them off of my calling list.
Ooh, that's not very good.
No, that's not good at all. You know, I know that people can spoof like email addresses, and that stuff kind of happens every once in a while. But this is a phone number, and it bugs me that they can do that and that they're willing to do that, because if they're willing to do that, that means they're never going to pay attention to the no-call list either.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't like it.
Me either. It's going to get to a point that you just won't answer any number unless you know it. Or caller ID tells you exactly who it is and you know them.
That's the problem, though. With this, they could spoof the number of somebody I do know, because they've spoofed, people who live out here. So
yeah,
it could say, Johnny's calling, and I answer it, and it's not Johnny. It's somebody trying to sell me, a hotel resort stay.
Yeah.
And that's going to get very irritating. I mean, they already, there was a virus that started, well, it's been around for a few years, but it came back tremendously yesterday, where if you don't want to answer any email, well, don't click on any links on any emails, even from people you trust, that is leading you to a Google Doc, because somehow they're using that to spread the virus. Which means even Google can't protect its own drive from this. So yeah. And I understand why they do it, because to us it's like, well, why are they going to bother me about this trip? Okay, they're bothering me about this trip. I'm never going to take this trip. All they're going to do is make me mad, so why are they even bothering? Well, the thing is, when they do these kind of things, they normally are sending this out to millions of people. Okay? So even if they only have a 0.001 return rate, where people actually call and buy the trip, or listen and buy the trip, even if that is their rate, 0.001%, they are still making thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars just from those few people. It's the reason why, like, people go, why do they send out all that spam? Because they only need a very tiny percentage of the people to actually respond to get anything out of it.
And the main thing that most people don't know is, even if they're not selling anything, if they find out it's a viable number, then they sell that number as a viable number for other people to sell you crud.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, it's just like one of the reasons why I like the fact that Gmail does not load up images of anything that it believes is spam, because just loading that image can prove to the company that sent the email that you at least looked at it and that yours is a viable email to send to.
Yep.
So I like the fact that they do that as part of their protection. Their spam protection is actually pretty good, but now we just need the same kind of thing for telephones. And the cool thing is AT&T, I know AT&T is evil, but they did come up with this app for smartphones called Call Protect. You can actually load it up, and it will start. It basically becomes like spam protection, but for your phone number instead of, email. And it works really well, except for these local phone number things.
Oh, well, that's good then. That'll eliminate some of them.
Yeah, it's already blocked like tons of 800 numbers and other out-of-town numbers, and it has told me why. It's possible spam, or it's possible, it's possibly trying to, I forgot what it calls it. Let me look at it. I hate it when I forget words. Potential fraud. Yeah, it'll block it, say potential fraud. It'll block it and say, just all the different kind of things that it could be. And I like it. So, and it blocks it. It doesn't even show up on my cell phone's recent calls list.
Oh, nice.
It just stays in the app as a recent call. And you can manually block things. So if it doesn't catch one, or if you have that, one annoying person who used to be your friend and don't want to hear from him ever again, you can add them to that block list. That kind of thing.
Excellent.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep, me too. And it's a, new service that they added to. You don't have to pay extra for it or anything. I just wish they would fix their internet out here. Then I would be happier with AT&T.
Get you some of that nice 100 up, 10 down stuff or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Oh, I hear kids home.
Uh-oh, sorry.
Let's see if they check the sign and see that it says, "Do not knock." We shall find out. If you hear a knock, then they didn't pay attention.
No, if they knock, then we know that they're American kids. They did not read.
These kids know how to read.
Yeah, but they don't want to.
They may be American kids, but they're my kids. So I'm a certified English teacher. They know how to read.
And if they don't, you'll teach them.
Well, that part's already been done. One of them could learn some better spelling, though. We're working on it.
I did not do well at spelling because most spelling breaks the rules they teach you.
Yeah, the I before E one is one of the worst ones out there. I before E, except after C. Well, and except for these other 1,231 cases.
And if there's an E at the end of the word, then go to the first vowel back from the E, and it should say its own name. Nope.
Yeah, rules for grammar and English just don't work. I mean, some of them, yes, but...
They work in other countries. They just don't work in America.
Well, that's what I mean. Rules for American English. And the reason why is because it's a very malleable language. It constantly changes. It constantly has exceptions to the rule, etc., etc. It's what makes it one of the harder languages to learn as a second language. Now, there still are a lot more that are even tougher. I mean, there's some languages out there, you look at French conjugations, and those are a mere, tadpole to the ocean of conjugations that some languages have. I can't remember which language it was, but it's got like 47 different ways of saying dog, depending on the situation.
Oh, geez, that sounds like Russian.
Well, it wasn't Russian, but I think it was one of the Germanic style languages, like Polish or something. Definitely not one of the Romantic languages, because those are the easy ones. Spanish and French, and like France actually, or for French, they actually have a, unless I'm incorrect, which, feel free to tell me if I am or not, but they actually have a, like a committee that gets together to determine whether a new word is going to be added to French or not, to the official language.
So they're intelligent.
Yeah. I don't know.
The people of Oxford here in America gave up.
What? Do you blame them? It's a very interesting style. I like it, Barlock.
Thank you. This one was off the top of my head.
Well, this is awesome for off the top of your head. Section over here is still missing, and when I get closer, like everything, this is just a very weird bug. Okay, I'm going to stop looking that way.
Don't stare at it. It'll stare back.
It was. So is there a style you were trying to replicate here, or is this completely off the top of your head?
This is completely off the top of my head. It's a cross between a southern old-fashioned porch wraparound house and a Germanic two-tier house.
Okay. See, that's the kind of thing I was expecting to hear from you. This is very cool, though. I like it.
Thank you. I hope your viewers will too.
Oh, the front roof is off by 1.
Oh my gosh, I'll fix it later.
Okay.
I only got a few minutes left.
Actually, we're over by 7, but that's okay.
Okay, my clock's wrong. Well, I don't think they'll mind a few extra minutes anyway, since we didn't give them one last week.
Right. And there, I fixed it anyway.
Thank you. And I'm almost done with the roof, because we do the insides later. We're almost done here.
Yeah, that's fine. No gigantic rush. The kids can wait. And this makes it where I don't have to do this at dinner time tonight.
That's even better, right?
Yep. Which is one of the reasons why we're rescheduling the recording of this anyway. Deciding what you're doing for the middle?
Nope, forgot a block on my pallet. Had to go fetch it.
Oh, okay. Go fetch.
And then I get the wrong one.
Oops. Not allowed. Don't do that.
There, that looks better.
The flat version of the stairs.
Yeah, it's called a block.
No, it's called a tile. At least according to Wayla.
Who's Wayla?
Isn't that person from that Eric Clapton song?
I don't know.
Wayla, got me on my knees, Wayla.
Oh, I remember that one. I didn't know it was Wayla.
Is
I've been
what?
singing it wrong all these years.
I wasn't. It's Layla. I was being silly.
Oh, okay, because I thought, God, I might have been singing it wrong all these years.
Nah. But that actually, when I was a teenager, or when I was of drinking age, which was a teenager at the time because I lived in Louisiana, and at that time, drinking age was 17. We had a drinking game called Layla. No, we did not. I'm thinking of the wrong song. We had a drinking game called Roxanne.
Oh, that one I've heard of.
Yeah, every time they said the name Roxanne, we took a sip. We couldn't, take a chug because it would kill us by the end of the song. It was always just a sip, but still.
And except for the inside, it is complete.
It is a very cool design. I like it.
Thank you very much.
And this is awesome. Okay.
Now we have 2 houses and that building in town that all need interiors if they want to have interiors. If not, we'll just keep building buildings.
So there you go. If you want some interiors, let us know. If not, we'll just continue with more buildings, which is fine too. All right. I guess we are going to close off this recording, sir.
All right. I've been Barlock.
Oh, you're beating me to it, huh?
Well, B comes before S. BS.
Thanks in advance for the thumbs up, thumbs down comment. Now you say it.
I've been Barlock.
I've been Saph. And you've been... I don't know. What have we been? Or they been?
They have been entertained.
Yes, they have. That I will definitely agree with. You've been entertained.